Hi, I'm Dr. Angela McBurdy of DoctorFlute.com, and today's flute tip is on nuance. What is nuance anyway? Nuance is one of those tricky little words, such as support, that's thrown out into music circles. And we all think, oh yes, I know exactly what that means. And I think for a lot of people, they know a vague idea of what that means, but what does it really mean and how do we put that into music? So let's just talk about that idea a little bit. Now, nuance is something that's not just a flute thing. It's something we talk about. We talk about a conversation has varied nuance in it. I mean, it has a couple different meanings, perhaps. And that's sort of what we mean when we're talking about in music. When we talk about nuance in music, we're saying that I give it different meaning than you give the same piece meaning. I think something is important in that musical conversation that I'm having, that when you play it, you might think something else is important. I think it's like saying, the boy went on a walk. And then someone else would say, the boy went on a walk, meaning there was something going on in that walk. Or the boy, a specific kid, went on a walk. You know, you can emphasize something different, and it gives a slightly different, more subtle meaning to that phrase. That's what we want to do with music. Now, this is Machinsky's Three Preludes. It's the second movement, and I just thought I would use this sort of as an example. This opening phrase. Now, it gives us this crescendo and diminuendo. So I'm going to do that, but I might decide this time when I play that I want to give one note a particular meaning. Now, how am I going to give that note meaning? Well, a lot of times it's going to be, I'm going to give that note just a little bit more weight. And weight means, in real life, weight means I'm going to hold it just a little bit longer. And if you listen to pieces that you hear being played and think, where do they give weight? Where is there some weight on a particular note? There's more to nuance. I'm just going to give weight to it, and then we'll talk a little bit about other ideas. So right now, I like the last G flat. So I'm going to show you where that is. Now right there at the end, as I diminuendoed, there was a G flat. And I wanted to hold it just a little bit because I like that sigh motion, that appoggiatura as it goes down. Now, if I played it just straight, that's straight. I didn't put any weight on anything. I played the crescendo, I played the diminuendo. I just tried to play with a nice tone and vibrato and all that kind of stuff. But if I want to make this piece speak to me, I'm going to say I like that G flat at the end of that opening phrase. I like what it does. I like the descension and holding that G flat slightly more. Now, you might say, I want the A because the A is the top of the phrase. So that A means something to you. Then someone else might find a different note. Or maybe you really don't want to do anything because it's just the opening phrase and you're saying, I'm going to move on. Nuance can incorporate color changes as well. And with color, we're talking about your tone. How can we change? I like doing a little different color, starting off this phrase maybe with a little more open, woody sound. And then as I go, get it a little bit edgier. And then going back to woody by the time I'm done at the end. So our color changes can happen within notes. I can even change it right on the beginning note. And then I changed it to the edge right on that first note. Now, someone else might say, this is a 20th century piece. I want it edge right from the start. And so that's the color, that's the meaning that you're putting to it. What else can we do with nuance? Vibrato speed. Vibrato speed is something that I think we don't use enough of to give us different color changes. So it doesn't always have to be. I can still have the edge sound, but maybe I have a slower vibrato or no vibrato, and then I add that on, and it gives it a completely, that edge sound that I had, a completely different sound altogether. So you want to use all the tools you have available, both weight on the notes, color changes, vibrato speed, and that all gives you the idea of nuance. Now, if you've never experienced or fooled around with nuance and said, I don't really know what to do, then I would say take an opening phrase such as this, and first start off with just putting weight on different notes. Explore, change, and say what speaks to you as something important. After you've used weight on notes, then vary the color change. Start off woody and end edgy. Keep it woody all the way through, or give it an edge at the beginning and go to wood at the end, and then use vibrato. But you can use the same phrase and change it, and then eventually you'll see and hear what sounds to you, what is important, and it gives it meaning. It gives it your meaning, not my meaning. When I teach students, I teach them basically my meaning, but I want them to come up with their own in the end. I want them to have an idea of what they think the music is saying. But that's, in a nutshell, what nuance is. It's giving meaning to notes, but giving your meaning to those notes. So have fun working on nuance. That's today's flute tip.